Problem-Based Learning or PBL for TVET. The 21st century skills necessitate the implementation of instruction that allows students to apply course content, take ownership of their learning, use technology meaningfully, and collaborate. Problem-based learning or PBL is one pedagogical approach that might fit into your teaching toolbox. So, what is problem-based learning? PBL is a student-centered, inquiry-based instructional model in which learners engage with an authentic, ill-structured problem that requires further research. Students identify gaps in their knowledge, conduct research, and apply their learning to develop solutions and present their findings. Why do you need to go for it? Through collaboration and inquiry, students can cultivate problem-solving, metacognitive skills, engagement in learning, and intrinsic motivation. Okay, so how do you get started? By breaking down the PBL cycle into 6 steps, you can begin to design, implement, and assess PBL in your own course. Step 1. Identify outcomes or assessments. Determine whether your course has learning outcomes that fit with PBL. PBL fits best with process-oriented course outcomes such as collaboration, research, and problem-solving. Collaboration, research, and problem-solving. To measure students' learning, you may use self or peer evaluation forms, reflective journals, and rubrics. Step 2. Design the scenario. Think of a real, complex issue related to your course content as the PBL scenario. The scenarios should elicit the types of thinking, discussion, research, and learning that need to take place to meet the learning outcomes. Scenarios should be motivating, interesting, and generate good discussion. Step 3. If PBL is new to you and your students, start with an easy problem, such as a scenario about the long lines at the cafeteria. After grouping students and allowing time to engage in an abbreviated version of PBL, introduce the assignment expectations, rubrics, and timelines. You might develop a single scenario and let each group to tackle it in their own way. Or you could design multiple scenarios addressing a unique problem for each group to discuss and research. Step 4. Research the problem. PBL research begins with small group brainstorming sessions where students define the problem, determine what they know about the problem or background knowledge, what they need to learn more about, or topics to research, and where they need to look to find data, or databases, interviews, and etc. Get students to decide upon group roles. For example, facilitator. Make certain that everyone contributes and keeps the group on task. Expect to hear this. Who wants to read? What does the first question mean? Do we all agree? I'm not sure I get it yet. Can someone explain? Reporter. Share summary of group with large group. Speakers of the group expect to hear this. Does everyone understand what to write? How should we show our answer on this poster? Can we show this in a different way? What does each person want to explain in the presentation? Timekeeper. Keep track of time and reminds groups how much time is left. Expect to hear this. Okay, let's get back to work. Recorder. Keeps notes on important thoughts expressed to the group. Writes final summary. Expect to hear this. What does the next question say? Explain how you know that. Can you prove that? Tell me why. Materials manager. Picks up, distribute, collects, turns in, or puts away materials. Manage materials in the group during group work. Checker. Checks for accuracy and clarity of thinking during discussions. They also check written work and keeps track of group point scores. After assigning group roles, get students to research topics necessary for them to fully understand their problems. Students then develop an initial hypothesis to test as they research a solution. Step 5. Product performance. After researching, the students create products and presentations that synthesize their research, solutions, and learning. They can present their findings, including one or more viable solutions or as research posters to the class. Step 6. Assessment. During the PBL assessment step, evaluate the group's products and performances. Use rubrics to determine whether students have clearly communicated the problem, background, research methods, solutions, and resources, and to decide whether all group members participated meaningfully. You should consider having your students fill out reflections about their learning, including what they have learned about the content and the research process every day, and at the conclusion of the process. Here is a summary of the flow of planning a PBL classroom. First, identify outcomes or assessments. Second, design the scenario. Third, introducing PBL. Fourth, assign group roles to research problem. Fifth, product performance. Sixth, assessment. So, to recap, this is the PBL classroom. Is it time to put PBL to work in your courses?